San Lázaro.
And we are back. Thank you, everybody, for joining us once again for another episode of the After Five podcast. As we have been doing for the last few weeks, we are coming to you live from, not live, we're bullshit. We're coming to you from Zoom. Thank you to our people from Zoom for hooking us up and making this possible. And today is a special podcast. I'm not even putting a number on the podcast. It's just a special podcast. We have our fourth. We've always said it. We always said that we have four of us. Three of us do the podcast. One of us is always there in spirit, and that is our boy, Nick. How's it going, Nick?
Going well. It's going well. Thank you for having me on. Good to be here.
Nice. I love the enthusiasm. We finally got it done. I feel like it was something that was always going to happen, but we never, Nick's a busy guy. We all got kids and our lives and stuff like that. So it's definitely something different. For those of you who don't understand the dynamic here, me personally, I've known Nick since first grade. So I've known Nick over 30-something years. Lewis has known Nick for over 30-something years. I think they met like in sixth grade. Oliver, who's, I ran out of gas somewhere on the highway. Who knows? He's also known Nick probably since like high school or something like that. And the reason we always say that Nick is there in spirit is because Nick is kind of like the glue that keeps us together. Nick is always the one that we go to, that we talk to. We have our own separate shit. Like Nick plays our Dr. Phil, our financial advisor, our moral advisor, a little bit of everything. So no pressure on Nick to deal with us since fucking sixth grade.
Nick, the truth is we can't go outside of state lines to get people on the show, okay?
When you guys get your all your statistics and everything, I'm that national listener you guys got.
Yeah, we're like, man, who's this dude in Texas that keeps listening? It's not even Nick, it's Aisha. Well, sir, it's good to have you on. It's fucked up circumstances to have you on under, but if we were gonna have you on, it was gonna most likely be like this, like getting you. For those who don't know, you live in Texas, so you moved to Texas. How long have you been in Texas already?
It's been, three. I came in the middle of 17, so yeah, three years, and then family came at the end of the year. So yeah, it's been a little while now. While now.
And at what point did you get your first boots?
I bought a pair of boots, and I have worn them twice. I've worn them twice. So specifically, I've worn them to events that were kind of cowboy themed, and other than that, they stay in my closet. I have a pair. My wife has a pair for the same reason, and we both said, "Move. We're gonna have a bonfire in the backyard."
How about the belt buckle?
No belt.
No belt buckle.
No belt buckle. No 10-gallon hat. No boot. And that's all I'm doing.
All right.
Hey, boots aren't cheap, man. Boots are expensive.
No. I got like the Honda Accord boots. I got.
You didn't go for the Benzos?
No, man. You could drop some money on. Think about it. It's a lot of leather.
Hell yeah, it is. I got a buddy that I used to work with that a Cuban guy, for some reason he loved boots, and he would spend like $250, $300 on a pair of boots.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Every now and then I'll catch someone in the gym in boots.
In the gym?
Yeah, ridiculous.
Are they wearing jeans?
Yeah.
So working out in jeans and boots. Well, fucking jeans is bad enough. All right, man. So.
Well, this just in. Since we have every time we introduce somebody for the first time, we like to make you feel a little uncomfortable. So we want now at the beginning of the show, and then this is my thing, to rank your top 3 boy bands of all time in order, and we'll each say them at the end of the show.
Okay. You said uncomfortable. Like top 3 like man crushes or something.
No, that's the next show.
Boy bands is easy. I got a top 10.
3. What we want is top 3.
Yeah, I don't. I'm old school. Let's go back to New Kids on the Block.
I was about to say, you could go far back. You don't have to stay close.
No, but they're not the first one.
No, okay. So New Kids on the Block, you gotta throw Menudo in there.
Menudo's number one. That's right.
You gotta throw them in there.
But it's his top three, not yours.
No, your top three, and we'll say it at the end of the show.
To keep it diverse, we'll get a good one in everywhere. Not one that people think of as boy bands, but they are Boys to Men.
Yeah,
three.
They're a boy band. They're a boy band too.
I'm motivated now.
Or you can go back and say New Edition. Bobby Brown.
Listen, I'm motivated now. Lewis, give me your top three. You know what? You came up with this, so you go last. Let's fucking knock it out now. I'm motivated.
Okay. Mine are New Kids on the Block, Menudo, and New Edition. Those are my three.
Okay, that's a good three. That's a good three. But I'm gonna knock you guys out. My first boy band. Fuck! How did I forget their name? Okay, number one, the Jackson 5. That's a boy band. Number two, NSYNC. Okay. And number three, number three, I can't. The Four Tops. Bam. Those are boy bands.
But come on, man.
Stay in our time, fucking generation. You want to go to Charlie Chaplin's band too? Fucking had a band one time.
Four Top song, please.
Sugar pie, honey bunch, sugar pie. Huh? My girl. Is that the Four Tops?
I don't know.
Who sings that shit? All right. So okay, the Jackson 5
in the bathroom.
NSYNC, and I would go with the New Kids on the Block.
Yeah. You did well with Jackson 5. I give you that
Jackson 5, yeah. I wasn't expecting that one. That was
all right. So transitioning from that, thank you, Lewis. Lewis always knows how to fucking make people feel uncomfortable.
What are Nick's though? I didn't hear Nick's.
Yeah, he said his.
First, I told you that Boys to Men, New Kids on the Block, and Menudo.
Menudo. Hey, has any boy band ever gotten more ass than New Kids on the Block?
I think they all did, just based I think Backstreet Boys probably got as much. I think there was always that big one in the generation. Had to take a back. They were behind Backstreet Boys, and then there was what was the other dude? The dude that was married to 98 Degrees. The one that was married.
Nick Lachey.
Yeah. They got the stragglers.
Yeah.
Still a lot more than me. A lot more than you and I.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Nick Lachey still got that that level B ass. And his wife is gorgeous. What's her name? Vanessa Menunos or some shit.
Or something, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was on MTV. She was a VJ for a long time. They actually, and I'm going to recommend the show because we're all stuck in quarantine still. They just did a show that made it to Netflix that's called Blind Love or Love is Blind. Yo, that show is intense. So the premise of that show is they get 15 men, 15 women, and they have these things called pods. So basically what those pods look like are storage units with furniture in it. And then they talk to each other through a wall. So they go on multiple dates, basically in the pods. They're not seeing each other. And then 5 or 6 of them choose who they want to marry. And they basically propose within the pods. And then they can see each other, afterwards. They do a week of honeymoon. And then they choose, they get married. But they decide whether they are going to marry that person at the fucking altar. Okay. It sounds corny, but dude, the show, I don't usually fall for that stupid shit. The show is good. Right. The premise behind it is whether or not you're actually falling in love with somebody's character and somebody's personality. Mind you, it's within a week. So that's horse shit because that's still that fucking representative. That's not the real person that's showing up,
20 years from now, health insurance companies are going to be able to insure the trauma that's going to cause people. But okay, we'll go with it. If it was true, if it wasn't staged.
Just a good show, and they're the host of it. But
think about But what's the worst? Like you like the girl or whatever, and then you see her and she's ugly as hell. You're like, all right. Yeah, I mean, like to marry.
I think there's pressure because that happened to one of the girls. So one of the dudes was like a Hispanic guy. I would say he was an all right looking guy. The girl was a very good looking, like blonde chick. She was a fucking a wreck though, a mess of a human. Great job, but like emotionally, that chick was like 12. And the entire time she was such a dick to him. Like after she saw his face, where it was like uncomfortable as fuck. And at the altar, I'm not gonna say what happened, but
all right. We
I definitely think. I never request. I would never recommend shows. You guys need to watch this shit because it's actually uncomfortably good. But it's a wife thing. Like you watch it with the wife. Don't watch it by yourself.
Sounds like a train wreck, and quarantine has taught us that there's some pretty good train wreck shows out there. So,
Carol Baskin.
Oh my god. Dude, I would so pardon that guy if I could, bro. 22 years for plotting some stupid shit and killing 2 cats.
Look, I was telling people the other day, when we look back at the quarantine, when all this is done years ago, the icons of the quarantine, have 2 icons of the quarantine. It's going to be Joe Exotic and Michael Jordan.
Yep.
Yes, definitely.
two greats in their individual.
2 goats.
To say who's better than the other. It's a toss-up, man. You can't win that argument.
Hey, Jordan gives it up to Joe Exotic. Jordan's like, hey, you know what? I'm real. Recognize real.
Uh-huh.
Hey, that dude was fucking straight, guys. Like, who the fuck?
Yeah, but that guy was.
Those guys are like, I'm not even gay, but fuck it, he got me.
Yeah, he drove him onto the property 8 miles in, and he told him, "Okay, if you don't stay with me, then find your way back." Oh, no, we'll stay.
But no, Louis, he killed. They got him for I think it was 8 cats.
Killing 8 cats, and then doing to try to kill this lady, plotting to kill this lady.
The plotting to kill her.
I mean, 5 years at the most.
No, man, it doesn't carry 5 years at the most. A grow house with weed carries 5 years.
They never really get that. That's what it says in the.
Yeah, the fact that he was like recording himself shooting a fake Carol Baskin, on the internet, and that he was constantly threatening her, right? Like he did it to himself.
I'll tell you a funny thing though. Never in my life would I ever have thought that I lived basically like 2 hours from there. I literally live like
from his farm.
That is, yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, okay.
Where I live doesn't look anything like that, but it's legit like 2.5 hours. I'm in the northern part of Texas, and that's in kind of the southern part of Oklahoma.
It's in Oklahoma, so you guys are like really right there. If you and the wife were really, really, really bored one day, tell me you wouldn't drive, because it's still open.
Yeah, I wouldn't just because I don't know the area, but yeah, could we? I mean, could.
Fuck that. The day I go to visit you that weekend, I'm going to drive us all to go visit fucking Joe Exotic's fucking zoo, man. I'll pay for our tickets. I'll pay for our lunch, pay for gas, everything. Let's just go. That and the Magnolia fucking silos.
That'll be the new thing, because everyone that comes wants to visit Magnolia, and said now it's going to come and going to visit freaking whatever the hell is that zoo.
Isn't that closer than the Magnolia silos?
It's about the same distance. It's about the same.
Really? Just one's south, one's north.
Exactly. Hey, and now it was on Lewis and Carlo walked by in the background.
Yeah.
Look, reporter, you guys saw that reporter that got caught cheating?
Yes.
Say that again?
Yeah. That reporter from where was he from? Mexico?
I don't remember. It was some Latin American channel. But Lewis, he's doing how the reporters are broadcasting from home. He's broadcasting from his house, and in the background, the woman he's having an affair with walks through naked.
And no, it gets better. She is a co-anchor.
Oh.
She's a co-worker. So look at this guy. Baby, keep your clothes on. So she walks behind him fucking naked. And the whole world, or not the whole world, but the entire country sees that shit because that show, and I forgot, is it in Spain or wherever? It's like a Good Morning America.
Yeah,
here.
At that point,
bro.
Yeah, I started reading. I really read deep into that shit.
Yeah, no, she wanted to get caught. I mean, you come on, so they've been doing that for probably 5 years, and
hey, that's her way of saying I want to make it official.
Yeah, exactly.
Naked as fuck. So aside from that, who's dying for sports to fucking start?
Me.
Definitely.
All right, but let me ask you this. You guys don't think the whole landscape has changed? Like we're not just going to be watching sports normally.
Well, yeah, I mean, it'll be different again with the empty stadiums and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, all the players out there, when the alternative is not play and make the amount of money that they're making, or
no money.
I mean, they're going to go at it hard, and it'll be kind of weird, but they'll adjust to it. I mean, when you adjust to it, if you're going to make $10 million a season or whatever they're making, like I'll adjust.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
They're not making that money right now. The Forbes came out with an article. So the average professional athlete in the top 4 sports, so they averaged it all out, is losing $1 million a week. Yeah. That's fucking absurd.
Yeah, so they'll play in front of whoever, in front of nobody. I mean, they'll do whatever they need to get back at that money.
Yeah,
I was flipping yesterday, and I was watching.
I'm sorry, not the sport, not the player. The average sports team, not the player. I apologize. The average sports organization is losing $1 million a week right now.
Yeah.
Yesterday they were doing a wrestling one, like a WrestleMania, one of those WrestleMania things, which I was just flipping by, and there's nobody in the stands. And I was like, guys using ladders, and I was like, they're doing it. Don't get me wrong, but it's just weird.
You know what's the shit right now? Japanese baseball.
Huh. Yeah.
That's it. That's all you could watch right now. I mean, it's, and you have a lot of NBA players are saying that they're not going to play. That if the playoffs do start within a week or two, in empty stadiums, they're not going to play. I mean,
I don't see why not, but okay.
I ain't watching Japanese baseball. I just watch old stuff, man. I watched the other day. I watched Game 6 of the finals with Ray Allen.
Hell yeah!
I saw that.
Watched it over and over again.
That something keeps hitting me in the back here. That I watch that shit all. Sometimes I would randomly look that up on YouTube, just to just get those ropes the fuck out of here. Get those ropes the fuck. And it was true. Remember that they were putting out the ropes. Channel 10 News was already basically fucking crowning San Antonio. People left the stadium. There was a good 2,000-3,000 people that were on the outside trying to get back in because it went into overtime. Like, we still could have lost that even after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool as shit. I've been watching a lot of like old school games. I watched I think it was the Bulls' first championship against the Lakers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that one.
I was watching that one the other day. The cool thing about it is it's like younger generations, just like the Jordan documentary. His own daughter was being interviewed the other day by the Breakfast Club, and she was saying how watching the documentary now, she's like, she's 28 now. So she's watching the documentary. She was like, damn, my dad was a bad man. Like, fuck, Dad, you did that? Think about it. To her, that's just her dad. She's tired of seeing videos or whatever the fuck about him or highlights and shit. So there she's seeing it from the perspective of, like, the players. Like, that dude's built differently than any other human being, like, that we may know.
Yeah, there's going to be a good – I don't think it was on the last episode because I didn't see it. It might be in the next one. Where supposedly they went on the plane on the way back, and Horace Grant didn't have a good game, and he told them not to serve him food.
Oh my god!
But man lost it. They had to be separated. Like, you imagine that shit? Saying another grown man can't eat.
Don't serve him food.
I read one yesterday where Mike Tyson went to go to an event and wanted to beat up Michael Jordan.
Really?
Supposedly he was messing around with Robin Givens right after, like, they were about to divorce or whatever. I mean, I don't know how true it is. I'm just telling you, it was one of those TMZ things. And it said that Mike Tyson was sitting at the table staring at him every 5 minutes, that they had to, like, you know, like, make Tyson's drinks weaker so he won't, like, completely lose his shit and kill Michael Jordan. Jesus.
They were just giving him regular Coke by the end.
Right, it was like 1989. It was like a Tyson of the 80s, the most vicious, violent freaking boxer ever. and then he would have kicked Mike Tyson's ass. He would have kicked Jordan's ass fucking picked.
Mike Tyson wouldn't have even gotten to Jordan. Like Mike Tyson wouldn't have gotten anywhere near. But it's, at that point,
it was 1989. It wasn't like Michael Jordan was still in his fourth season. He didn't have.
Yeah, like, I mean, if I'm Mike Tyson, I'm like, all right, I caught you with Brad Pitt. Now I'm catching you with Michael Jordan. Like,
yeah, Mike would have had to fuck up a lot of people if he went that route.
Yeah, and he could have.
Well, but yeah, I guess until they thought it was friendly and all, and then he just got pissed when he got there. It was like you're sitting across the table, hey, what's up? And then all of a sudden it hits you. He gets that Tony Montana look when he sees his sister dancing on the floor with the music in the background, and I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I think. Listen, Jordan's scope of greatness goes beyond that basketball court. Because there was a TMZ video where Jordan and his wife were in LA. They're coming out of a club, right? So it's like 4 a.m. Him and his wife are coming out of a club. It happened like a couple years ago, and there was a Crip or a Blood waiting for another Crip or Blood. Like, let's say it was a Blood waiting for a Crip to come out of the club from the back, and they start arguing with each other, and shit starts to get a little out of hand. And Jordan's about to get in his limo, like literally the limo, and drive off. And Jordan stops and goes, hey, come on now, cut that shit out. And the dude stopped. They both like just stopped and went their separate fucking ways. Like, shit, we just got screamed at by Michael Jordan.
Hey, Oliver just texted me, bro.
Yeah, well, let's see, Oliver.
Tell him we're done. Tell him he's locked out.
I mean...
Bring that fool on. Can he get in?
Can he get in or no?
Yeah, I'm telling him right now. Just click the link above, asshole. Like 18 conversations up. We love Oliver. That's just kind of the way we deal with Oliver sometimes. When, like, literally,
if we were all getting together to eat, like, he wouldn't eat right now.
No, we would all be on our main course.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he would still want to order a main course, and then we would be waiting for him to finish. To like,
he told us, yeah, go ahead and order for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I don't have any money. Oh, spot me. All right.
What a dick. So let's see. I told him to come on. Like, he's been the one that's been asking for this for like months too. Like, we all have. But he's like, man, we got to get Nick on. We got to get Nick on. And then he goes 0 dark fucking 30 on us. Let's see, first of all, where he's calling us from. It might be Camilo's house. It could be his house. It could be his car.
Fort Pierce.
No. It could be Fort Pierce. He would be on the Metro Rail. It's like him and a homeless guy. Like, hey, this is John. He's going to be on the show with us right now. He's got a knife.
Shit himself. I'm going to lose it.
That what?
Comes on and says that he shit himself. I'm going to lose it.
That's a multiple shitter. Like, that dude has shit on himself multiple times. Well, like, it's not just once. Well, yeah. You know what I love? The fact that he straight up just like tells us. Like, he doesn't fucking hold back.
What was funny was his surprise when everyone else is like, "No, man, I've never shit on myself."
I know. Like, when was the last time you shit on yourself? Us was probably early 80s or late 70s when we were born. He was like, in 2003, I think it was.
No, that shit was like 2017. Like, it wasn't 2000.
I'm trying to help him out. Right?
People were like, I mean, as an adult, have I shit myself? No. And he was like fucking flabbergasted. Like,
never.
Then you haven't lived. Let's see. He's about to come on. I mean, either way. Let's see. Is he waiting? He's still not waiting on the Zoom call. It brings the show to a fucking screeching halt. Let's see. Oh, there he is. All right. Admit.
Admit Mamao.
Here he is. Look at that. With his glamour shot photo. Let's see if we actually get to see his face.
Yo.
Hey.
Like last time.
Are you talking or can we see your video?
The what?
How come we can't see your face?
Hold on, I'm trying to see what let me see what
All
I
we that he's not wearing clothes. Keep it.
Yeah.
Keep it. We're good.
Are you wearing pants? That's all we need to know.
No pants.
Jesus Christ.
Straight underwear, homie.
Whose bed is it?
Hold on, bro. How do I get into this shit?
There's an exhibition.
What bed are you in, dude?
Whose bed is that?
My special bed.
Oh, hey, like, is somebody talking to you? He's giving me the shut the fuck up face.
For you English listeners out there, this is what's called un despingue.
Yeah.
Are you in Miami?
Yeah, I'm in Miami.
Just he cannot disclose the location.
Just a zip code.
That's it.
I'm in a bunker somewhere.
Hey, we finally get Nick on the show, and you show up fucking halfway through, bro.
And I turned off my GPS.
better than ever.
Oh man. Hey, are you gonna watch basketball with no fans? There goes Carla. At least she's wearing clothes.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Oliver, is there any way whatsoever that you could just pan the room?
I can what?
Pan the room like just.
Nah.
So you heard that giggle? Hey, don't you have Heat season tickets?
No, not this year. No.
Not this year?
But I think they're not refunding the money. They're crediting for next year.
They're crediting for next year. So they're definitely gonna run the season without any fucking fans for sure.
I think that's the plan. That's what I've heard.
And it sucks, man, because we had a squad this year, like just a bunch of young bucks, like running and gunning.
Yeah,
they look good.
They were built up, man.
I mean, they weren't gonna go far into the playoffs, but that's a team that in another 2 seasons, like they don't really need to add maybe one more like stud, like Jimmy Butler quality kind of guy, but not even really, because they kind of have young studs already on the team. Like Pat Riley somehow like reloaded.
Well, and in the East, you never know. I mean, anything could happen in the East.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, they weren't going to contend for a championship, but I mean, they could make some noise in the East.
Yeah, they could definitely. I mean, I think if they really gelled, they could make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, they got.
I don't see why not.
It's Honorary Hero. That kid, he'll shoot that ball. Man.
Yeah, Tyler Hero doesn't give a shit, and he's good. Like he makes it. It's not like Mario Chalmers. Like that just keep shooting and shooting and shooting. Like you ask Mario Chalmers, who are we gonna give the ball to in Game 7 with 2 seconds? Me.
Yeah.
He still has that same energy somewhere in Lithuania.
Yeah, no, Mario's always had that.
And he's playing. Yeah, like he's playing in Europe, not Europe, fucking Asia or some shit somewhere.
I think European League. He's on some team out there.
And probably making $3 million a year because those leagues like they make money. They pay.
Not a bad way to finish your career.
Yeah, like fuck it. I'm a superstar in fucking Japan or somewhere like that.
Could have been all.
That's all Gabriel.
Could have been Oliver. Oh, that could have been you playing with the chinos. They're your height.
Yeah, right. You seen Yao Ming? They have some big chinos out there.
That's an anomaly. And he's isn't Yao Ming Chinese?
He's Chinese.
Yeah, he's Chinese. That's different. You could have gone and played in Korea. They're shorter. So what's going on, man? Are you still profiting off of people's deaths and shit, Oliver?
Yeah, bro. Coronavirus is doing well right now. That's where the money's at.
The coronavirus. That's gonna pay for the new house.
Between testing and funerals, people are making money in coronavirus.
Right. Yes, yeah, it does.
Exhibition, bro. This is pure exhibition.
Why do you think that? I mean, it's real shit. It's fucking people are croaking, bro.
No, I mean this show. I mean the stuff that's being said on this show. This is an
No, I'm not into that.
What I meant to say.
It is what the fuck it is. Like at this point, what the fuck are we gonna say? This guy's sitting somewhere on brothel in fucking in Central Florida.
That's the sign, the vacancy sign flashing.
He's just smiling. That's like the worst part about it. Like he's not even saying
is there a wall unit AC there? That I have to see. There's a wall unit AC. I gotta see that shit.
Room service.
You do not have fucking room service wherever the fuck you are. I promise you, there's no room service.
You want ice? You gotta cross the street on the other side of the turnpike.
Does it vibrate?
You know it vibrates.
It's a waterbed.
Hey, just tell me one question, and that's it. That's how you have to answer. Is there a strobe light above you?
No strobe light.
Are there mirrors?
No mirrors.
Oh,
Is
shit.
heart shaped?
No. And definitely no jacuzzi either.
All right, so regular. All right, so we've narrowed it down to an actual fucking bedroom in an actual house.
Standard bedroom. Standard bedroom.
Standard bedroom.
He said no jacuzzi. That just means it's too far away from payday.
Oh man. Yeah, let me ask you guys a question because I've literally, as you're locked up in here, everybody's quarantined with their family, and you're kind of the dynamic has changed, it's switched. Like we're not leaving to work, we're not coming home at 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon or later for some of us. What have you learned about yourself or about somebody else in your household? It has to be someone that you're quarantined with for the most part. What have you learned about yourself or that other person that caught you off guard that you're like, it could be good or bad, but I mean, I'm shooting more for the good. What have you learned?
Don't say the word shooting.
So let's start off with Lewis.
Well, first of all, don't use the word shooting 5 seconds before I answer, because I'm going to tell the truth.
Hey, do it.
It's
Carla's upstairs for sure, huh?
It's fucking hard. I mean, for me, it's been really difficult. I mean, I'm my wife works at the hospital, so she's really strict with everything you touch, everything you walk in, everything. And I'm a little bit more, less sensitive to it. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just gonna go out. I'll wear my mask. I won't talk to anybody. But to her, it's change the mat on the floor. It's been hard for me, dude. It's been hard. I mean, again, we triple the hours that we see each other from 1 minute to the next, and it's not easy to get used to. Used to seeing each other awake time, 3 hours, a day, and all of a sudden that's 12 hours. So yeah, my place is small too. Like I don't have a man cave I can escape to.
But is there anything about her that you've learned? Because you're, like you just said, you're being locked up with her 3 times longer than.
Yeah, she's really taking it seriously, and it's good because it protects us, and that's a good thing. But yeah, she's responsible for that. So I'll give her credit.
So her discipline, her level of discipline, when it comes down to
1,000 times better than mine.
All right. How about you, Nick?
Man, I've learned levels of my wife's temper.
And what are those?
Look, so I still go into my office every day. So yeah, I'm not working from home yet, or I'm not going. So I go into the office. So she's with all 3 of them all day. So I come. That's probably worse than if I was quarantined here, because I come home and he hasn't lit them up already, like home, because I didn't do my part here at the house. So yeah. I thought I knew she had a temper before, but there ain't nothing like this, man.
Hey, and for people, what are the ages of your kids?
So Miguel's 19, like Tyler. Tyler 19.
Yeah, 19.
And then Nikki turns 12 next week, and then Emma turns 9 next month.
So 12, no, 19, 12. Jesus, Nikki's 12 already.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Holy shit. So 12, 19, and turning 9. And here's the funny part. Nick's wife, for those of you who obviously don't know, Nick's wife is a teacher. So
like I've asked her like if she would yell at at her students like she yells at these kids, she would be in jail. She'd be in jail. Like, but at the same time, I'm not doing it, so I can't really criticize. It's just better for me. They're gonna have to defend themselves. They're on there.
Hey, Nick comes into the house and he's telling them, "Don't make eye contact with me. Don't make eye contact. That's on you. Leave me the fuck out of this."
Exactly.
What did you do to her? He's telling them, and it's funny because you just nailed, like you kind of hit a good point there. She pushed them out. She didn't push out the other kids. So to her, it's no different pretty much than any other parent having to teach their kid at home right now. Like, you tend to have a shorter fuse with your own kid, I'm sure, as a teacher, than you would with somebody else's kid. So your kids are probably like, fuck.
Yeah,
like,
it's worse for them.
And how's your older one dealing with the whole situation? Because he can go out, and he's a very social kid. Like, he's a very friendly kid. So right now you got him fucking locked up.
Yeah, it's tough for him because he likes to be out and about. But he's doing all right. He's he's doing his school thing.
Yeah, he's cool.
They at least now the weather's nice. They go in the pool. They play basketball. They do all. Everybody's dealing with it, but I mean, it's just the little funny things that happen. When they get into arguments, that's just kind of.
That's the rough part though, because everybody's in everybody's face. Doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. You could literally have a 10,000 square foot house that you still feel like you're up, like somebody's up in your fucking business. And I think that's the biggest issue here, where my wife and I have handled it like champs for the most part by staying out of each other's way. Like, I'm in my son's room. Once he left the college, it kind of, doubles as my office. But it's tough, man. What I've learned more than anything is because, I mean, for those who didn't know, my wife had been homeschooling already for 2 years. So how difficult it is to work from home when you have children at home. Just in general, the whole dynamic of working from home is not easy. But then you throw kids in the mix and they're asking you the dumbest fucking questions about math, or whatever lesson they're doing. And then you start trying to help them and you're like, holy shit. It's either I don't have patience or I really am that dumb and I just completely forgot everything. Because I have a 19-year-old, a 16-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 5-year-old. Like, the 19-year-old, I absolutely can't help him with shit. The 16-year-old, she's in all like honors classes. I definitely can't help her with shit. So the 8-year-old was my only like fucking like, all right, hey, let's sit down and figure this out. And she looked at me with like this face of like disgust. Like, you really don't know how to help me with this?
Well, you still have an 8-year-old because it's some voodoo math. Like, it's some shit that they teach way different than it was when we had it. Like, so
yes. And you're in banking, dude. Like, you're the smartest one out of all of us. Like, you were the one being separated from the rest of us to go to a special classroom because like you were fucking America's future. And tell me, looking at your kid's homework, you're not like, what the fuck? Billy has 8 apples, but then he gives 3 apples to Jane, who then takes a bus to New York. And in New York, Jane starts fucking juggling. How many apples does Billy have?
No, and then they want you to like draw a graph and like it's some weird shit. Yeah, I don't fuck with any of that.
Where'd Oliver go? Oh shit, he ran out of time at the motel.
Yeah, right.
The phone started ringing.
Paying for another. It's at the front desk. They'll be back.
It's either the Wi-Fi or the TV.
Yeah, or the 2 hours ran up. He's literally in his underwear. Like right when it came to him to say, Oliver, what did you learn about the person you're quarantining with?
Yeah, that's we don't want to ask him, bro, because that just puts him in a.
Yeah, that's. What do you mean, the person I'm quarantining with right now, or the person I was quarantining with a week ago? Oh man.
Yeah, bro, and bro, to top it off, la cosa está dura, but what are you gonna do? You have to deal with it, and
Yeah, man. Listen.
so
What is it?
just don't watch the news. If you just anything, don't watch the news. Read a book, like I'm reading. I've already read 2 books. Read a book, and try to invent whatever shit you can do to catch up on, and because if you watch the news, it'll be that, bro. You go nuts. I did it for a little while. I watched like maybe the business channel for like until the stock market opens for like the first hour, and that's it, and then I turn it off.
Well, the problem is you could really go down some wormholes if you start listening to the news, or if you start listening to some of these posts or reading some of these posts that people put on. Like you could really go down a wormhole, and it sucks because our country is in disarray right now. Unemployment is at its highest that it's ever been, and it's just this is a fucking anomaly. This is the anomaly of all anomalies. Like this is shit that we've never in our generation really have ever dealt with. So it's tough, man. People.
No, but the whole thing is that it happened one day to the next. It's not like, it wasn't something that was already building that people knew about. It just happened from one week to the next. Like, all right, we're shutting down. Okay. And then
there's nothing good on the news right now, man. The best thing to do is read, work out.
So I bought the pull-up machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got that, and I'm doing I have like a 45-minute routine. I'm gonna see if I can next week I go start jogging a little bit, and that's it. Just work out and then pray every day that other person with me.
As you guys get in shape, just stop sending me fucking text messages with your abs.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it yet, man. That'll be a while.
What were you saying, Nick?
Get on some jazzercise.
You know he doesn't jazzercise. Who's got the thick ass socks, the whole fucking nine? Who's that kid of the '80s? Listen, we're gonna see where this shit fucking goes. I think right now it's like we're like in that proverbial end of the world scene where the dust is clearing and we're kind of just walking outside and wiping our eyes because we don't know what's coming next at this point, man. It's like there's no use in worrying about it. Like you want to stay educated and you want to understand what's happening, but there's no real use in freaking the fuck out or watching the news because like Nick said, nothing good on it.
And even here in Miami, they're releasing people from the jails. They don't say it, but my friend Harold's a bail bondsman, and he tells me they're releasing people from the jails. Just like, okay, bro, go from the holding cells from the first floor. Obviously, they're not gonna get the guys on the 7th floor that are like,
yeah.
But they're releasing people, and that's scary, bro. My car got broken into already. Here, bro, parked out in the front. They broke into my car and stole my iPod. Ooh.
His iPod.
Yeah, but I use it through my radio, and I have to listen to AM, FM, or FM, and that's it.
You're not gonna break out the old CD fucking the CD folder?
No, I left it in the rental car.
Oh man,
You still have the
same truck, bro. The Dodge. I'm gonna bury that car, bro.
200,000 miles.
No, 156.
Wow.
almost there.
The one before had 186,000 miles.
What the
Ford.
F-150?
Yeah, that one had 186, and that one was better than this one. Way better.
Hold on. Oliver's waiting. Admit. Let me see. Watch this. Oliver.
What happened, buddy?
Oh, ran out of battery.
Oh.
You have to drop another 20.
Did you have to go to the front office to pay $25 for another hour?
Yeah.
So tell me, what have you learned about yourself? I'm not going to let you off the hook. About yourself or somebody else that surprises you or that you didn't know prior to this quarantine?
I didn't learn shit.
No?
No?
No.
There you go.
You know what? The problem is that I guess I was unemployed for the last 4 months. So I lived exactly the quarantine during that period.
Okay.
So
You've been
quarantined.
Oliver was practicing.
But
you were practicing for the quarantine. You saw this shit coming.
The
I
vision.
had the pre-quarantine going.
All right. So I got the question of the day, man. That's how we're gonna close out our first ever episode with Nick. Hopefully, there's gonna be more. We call these the deluxe episodes. So, Nick, I'm gonna start off with you.
Uh-huh.
If you could sit down and have a drink with 5 people, dead or alive, who would they be? You get to pick 5 people, a few hours, sitting around having a few beers, some scotches, whatever. 5 people.
All right. I got to throw in my brother from another mother, Barack Obama.
All right.
Someone that I'm listening to a lot right now that I think is a trip, and I love his point of views, Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp, all right.
Yeah, he's in your face.
Yeah. Who else? Who would I pick?
Dead or alive?
Still in there?
Who?
Washington.
Denzel Washington?
I think I'm throwing Denzel Washington in there.
All right. So that's 3.
Laura.
It's turned white. Looks like it's funky or something.
I think there's some app.
You want to keep it at 3?
Well, give me that. Give me 3 for right now. I'll see if I come back with 2 others.
All right. How about you, Louis?
Grocery store and then about
3.
Donald Trump.
No. I already been there, done that. No, I'd have to go. The number one, I'd have to go with Griffey, so we could talk about him, baseball, the Cars, obviously.
All right.
That we both own together. The second one would be. Yeah, I'd like to sit down with and have a drink with number 2.
Joe Exotic.
Who? Suge Knight.
Suge Knight, all right. That's a good one.
Thanks, Suge. And the
Knight will sit on his lap.
There you go.
right. And the third one, I have to go with a musician on the third one. I gotta pick one of the musicians.
Vanilla Ice.
Actually, I've met Vanilla Ice. He's really fucking cool. Vanilla Ice is down as fuck, believe it or
When
not.
did you meet Vanilla Ice? When did you meet Vanilla Ice?
He used to be friends with my friend Joey, the one that used to make the Pantera boats. And he built them like 3 boats. And I met him one day in the factory. And he's, bro, the coolest guy in the world.
There's something wrong with you.
So it's Suge, Ken Griffey, and who would the third guy be?
Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, it would.
He's pretty cool too. I would have to go with.
I will try if you'll stay out for long.
Dead or alive, bro. Like, it could be literally 2 hours with someone that's dead.
I'll work on another 2. Just go. I'm on 2.
I just need 3. I just need 3.
Well, I got my other. I back up to 5, and all my people are alive, but I got to throw Bill Clinton in there.
All right.
And Mark
He has the 2 best politicians ever. Just throw in JFK while you're at it.
And who else?
Mark Anthony.
And Mark Anthony. Going, you're gonna ask him how that J-Lo ass felt, huh?
I met Mark Anthony.
All of his wives. Dude's been married to 2 Miss Universes and a J-Lo.
And to J-Lo. God damn. All right, Oliver. Down to you. 3 people you can speak to.
I'll probably go Warren Buffett.
All right.
Ben Franklin.
All right.
And
Colonel Sanders.
What is your secret recipe?
Colonel Sanders. And the little girl from Wendy's.
Fuck out of here. That's fucking weird. All right, let me see.
All right, let me throw in my third real quick. My third will be Mark Cuban. That's my
Mark Cuban? Really?
My financial guy. I like him.
All right.
So I have 2 more to go.
No, it's 3. We left it at 3.
Okay.
All right. My 3 would be.
Jose
It's funny.
Canseco. Jose Canseco.
Yes. Jose Canseco, one of them. Hey, thank you, but good job. Yes, Jose Canseco. Hey, that tells you how long this guy's known me. Jose Canseco is 1. Eddie Murphy is number 2.
Ozzy can say.
No,
And
fuck that.
Elian Gonzalez.
And Elian will be 3. Jose Canseco, Eddie Murphy, and the third one, honestly, it's someone that I've actually always wanted to talk to, and for some reason I used to have daydreams that I would actually talk to this person one day. The third person would be David Letterman. That would be the It's funny that none of you guys picked anybody who's dead.
I was going to pick Johnny Carson.
That would be some interesting shit. Sit there and talk to Johnny
If I
Carson.
would have gone 5, Johnny Carson was one of them.
I was thinking Martin Luther King Jr. too.
How about Elvis?
Elvis, I don't think Elvis would have fucking riveting conversation.
He's fucked up the whole time. He's like,
The whole time.
How about this guy?
Oh,
shit.
dude, you had him on your shirt, homie.
Right?
It didn't occur to you?
I guess he's in my top 10.
Yeah, or top 5.
How about that big black guy that comes up in all the memes?
I definitely want to talk to that guy. Hey, do you understand that guy's fucked up my mornings? Like, all of a sudden, it's like someone sends a text, man, I can't believe this horrific crash fucking happened. And I click it, and it's like that guy's dick driving a car.
You meet him in a room like where you are, Oliver.
Yeah, exactly.
With chains.
Hey, why do I feel like he's tying his shoes at the end of your bed? Oh, man. So, Nick, tell me about your first podcast, man. How does it feel?
It feels good, man. It feels like old times.
Absolutely, man. That's the beauty of the whole Zoom situation right now, man. It's like everybody could actually see each other, and obviously, listen, we could fucking FaceTime and talk shit if that weren't fucking a little weird.
Yeah,
like my son will FaceTime me sometimes, and I'll be like, I'm good, man. We're like, I can just hear your voice. We're fine. I've fucking raised you for 19 years.
On top of everything,
FaceTime thing, that's not a guy thing, dude.
What'd you say, Nick?
I appreciate Oliver showing up late to really make it feel nostalgic, really make it feel like old times.
Yeah, that really is. Like, that's Oliver keeping it fucking real.
Gotta keep it real.
Just walking the fuck in and being weird.
100%.
Man, he looks like he's in another Cool J video.
Hey, the fact that we can't see past his neck is like really uncomfortable. Fucking.
You all really want me to zoom out?
No, bro. No, I really fucking don't. I want you to pan to your right.
Listen, if I turn on the light, you're gonna see me like the black guy on the meme.
Yeah, right. You wish. Hey, just pan to your right, bro. That's all we want. No. That's your left, homie. To your right. Your other left. All right, hey, that's all we're. What city are you in right now?
No, I'm in Miami.
Okay. All right, people. Hey, Troll, Nick, as your government name would fucking state. Thank you, sir, for joining us. It was definitely a fun podcast to do. Next time, hopefully, we have more topics to fucking talk about, sports or whatever the fuck, life in general. You know, good things are coming for all of us. I feel
you
it.
can make yourself available next Saturday. Why not?
I'm down. We don't have
half an hour, D.
That what you
I'll
say,
be
Nick?
down time next time.
What'd you say, Nick?
I said if we don't have any topics, we'll just get on and make fun of each other.
There's nothing better than that. Like, at the end of the day, this was the most organic conversation. We had an outline of shit talking, but it's like we touched on the outline for like 5-6 minutes, and the rest was just us talking shit. And
Oh, you
Oliver
want to hear a good one?
a fucking weirdo.
Nick, I spoke to Igor the other day.
Oh, yeah?
I've been talking to him a lot, and we were like reminiscing about playing football back in the days. And he said that back in the day, he ran in Killian a 4.3 something 40. That's what he told me. And I believe him. He has, I don't know. I mean, maybe it was a
He ran a faster 40 than Derek Gibson, who made it in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know. 4.340 is pretty fast. I don't know. I know he was a hell of a basketball player, I'll tell you that much.
Because he said he played football. He said he ran a 4.3 something back in the day. Fine.
Hey, Igor's a sweet guy. Igor's a good guy. Like he used to work the concessions at the Kendall Boys and Girls Club. But a 4.340, you're talking about like fucking faster than Antonio Brown.
Oh, you're a cornerback. Yeah, yeah. He said they ran a 4.3 something, and he said that he still couldn't catch up to Norman.
You need to get out of here.
He's pretty fast, huh? He goes, bro, I remember I used to chase after him, and I just couldn't catch him. And he says, bro, and I ran a 4.3. I didn't believe him at first. I told him, what, the stopwatch maybe with the hand time? But he said, no, I ran a 4.3 something. And I was like, okay.
Here's the thing about chasing Norman. Why? Let's say you catch him. What are you going to do?
Can't catch him. You catch him. That's a problem.
No, the problem is if you catch him, that's like saying, hey, I was chasing this alligator. Then what?
Right.
It's going to turn around and fucking eat you alive. Yeah, no, we're good. All right, boys. Oliver, keep being weird. Nick, we love you, sir. We got to do this shit again soon. Hopefully next Saturday. But, hey, we're going to pressure you, man. We're just going to keep peer pressuring you so we can see the nice fucking Obama gray on the side. Like, we
come back again. It'll be a good day.
Nice. All right, people, thank you for joining us as always. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and you can listen to us anywhere you could find a fucking podcast, whether ours or another podcast, who gives a shit. And again, don't forget to log in. We have a poll coming up actually tomorrow. That poll's going to be whether or not Oliver should get his ass waxed. Now, we need to get to 500 followers or 500 likes. Fuck the followers. We need to get to 500 likes. If we get 500 likes, that means Oliver is waxing his ass, and he's doing it on Instagram Live. So 500 likes to this one post, and we can see Oliver get his ass waxed. Now, I'm not going to destroy your mental pictures, and we're not going to record him actually getting his ass waxed, but the audio will be put up so you guys can listen to Oliver squirm and cry.
All right.
Thank you. Love you, people.
Bueno, party on.
Gentlemen, don't log off. I'm just, ending the meeting.
Peace.
She is a cute little dog. Responsible enough to come up here and help him take care of my mom.
The wax, man. When you let that shit happen?
Doesn't it make you feel any
What was that?
You're gonna do the wax. You keep bullshitting with that.